Our question of the day is from Sarah in Florida. How do I demote an employee? I hired a designer a couple of years who was a good fit at the time. When a senior designer quit, I quickly promoted her to fill the gap, though she wasn't fully ready. Since then, we've raised our standards, and while she may have been a solid fit before, it's now clear she's over her head. Despite months of feedback and one-on-one training, her progress has been minimal. She struggles with communication and project management. It's become a burden for me and the team. She has a great eye, but the operational mistakes are adding up. I'm starting to feel embarrassed that I haven't been able to turn this around. I need advice on how to proceed. Depending on who she is, you're going to get one of two reactions based on her maturity and how she's wired. We've experienced this with creatives, with writers, content people, with programmers, that we move them up beyond their level of competence. It's called the Peter Principle. You promote someone to the level of incompetence. You keep moving them up until they can't do the job. When we ask them to return back to where they actually are doing the job, rather than trying to lead all the people doing the job, we end up with one of two reactions. Their feelings are hurt and they quit, which probably happens more than half the time. Or you've talked about it, and they actually feel relieved to be able to go back and actually do the work. So this is a designer that has a great eye. She probably enjoys doing the work. She might miss actually doing the work and might hate the pressure and not living up to your expectations. She might really love, this might be good news for her that she gets to go back to being a designer. But you cannot control her reaction. She controls her reaction. The only thing you can control is presenting this in a way that allows her to keep her dignity and where you take the fall. You take the blame. And so I would start this conversation with an apology. I moved you up into this position too quickly, and I haven't been able to train you to be able to do the operational stuff, and it's frustrating you, it's frustrating the team, it's frustrating me. And I'm really sorry I messed up on that, because you're an excellent designer and you have a great eye. And if I could have done better and taught you these things and this move would have been successful, it would have thrilled my heart. But it didn't work out. And I think you know that. We've talked about this. We've had months of feedback on this. You know the operational mistakes are there. And it's my fault because I moved you into this and I wasn't able to train you to get you to be able to do it. And I'm sorry for that. But I want you to know I really love you, and I think you are a great designer. And I need, what your best thing for you and your best thing for this organization is for you to be a designer again. And so I'm going to move you back to that role. And I hope I hope you understand that it's my fault, and I'm sorry. And I hope maybe that's a relief to you. I hope it is. And then she gets to decide, is she going to be a 4-year-old and have a temper fit and have her feelings hurt and run out the door with her hair on fire about the toxic workplace? Or is she going to say, yeah, all this feedback I've been getting, I go home, I tell my husband I'm stressed and I hate this, I hate all this operational crap, I wish I was a designer again, thank you for letting me be a designer again. And she goes back to doing that. We get that sometimes. But if you go in and just go, you suck, you're now demoted. I mean, don't expect anybody to do anything but quit. Take the blame for it. You said in the email, I hired a designer a couple of good years ago who was a good fit. When a senior designer quit, I quickly promoted her to fill the gap, though she wasn't fully ready. That's not her fault. That's your fault. So you apologize. And you weren't fully ready. I thought I could get you there. I was wrong. I overestimated my ability to train someone. And the operational mistakes are taking the fun out of this for you, for the customer, and for the team, and for me. And so, I've come to the conclusion that I need to move you to being a designer, which you are an excellent designer. And, and you know what? If you have the bandwidth and the money, give her a $2,000 handshake at the time and just go, and I'm going to give you a $2,000 bonus for moving back. One-time shake. Okay, I'm going to add $2,000 to your check this month, and because it's my fault, and something like that. And that gives dignity to what her capabilities are, and we put her back in the role. And again, you have no idea what she's been telling her roommate or her husband or whatever when she goes home at night. This may become of a great relief. I have seen that more than once, and I was all braced for somebody to be hurt or pissed off because they're ambitious and they didn't get to hold the job that move up, and now they got to be embarrassed and move down. And but I would not call it a demotion. I would just call it a reversal. I'm just going to move you back to where you were. It's not a demotion. It's not a pay cut. It's not, well, it might be a pay cut. I don't know. You may have to decide that. But this is not a money thing. It's a she can't get the job done thing more than anything. So that's the way I would approach that. So, but I give you a 50-50 shot at it, and that's based on the experience I've had here. We've done it, and people accepted it, and that had to do with the maturity and the quality of the character of the person. And then other times people get their little butt-hurt feelings, and they run off, and Dave Ramsey's a toxic workplace or something, which is bullcrap. Or not, but, when somebody gets their feelings hurt, that's what they say. I hope it goes the other way for you.